There's another story here that I want to talk about, which is in the NBA, there is one man who has said something that we have all been thinking, and he did it through a retweet. And that was Victor Wembanyama. I don't think I could play the audio. We could just play it once.
What? Oh no, see, that's what we not better do. Police, lock his ass up. Yes, you need to be under the jail. Like what? What you say? Yeah, arrest him immediately.
Okay, so this is Wemby retweeting this video above this tweet where the NBA wished Karl Malone a happy 62nd birthday. Let me be clear. We are sports fans, all right? We are NBA fans. Can you name an NBA player when they were playing who has criticized Karl Malone for all the reasons that he is worthy of criticism? Name one.
I can't, because once we found out about why people criticized Karl Malone, it was well after his career was over.
Exactly.
So it didn't happen during.
Exactly.
There was plenty of things to hate about Karl Malone during his career, by the way.
Plenty.
And a lot of people were not shy about saying how much they hated Karl Malone, but it's weird that this wasn't one of them.
I agree. So here was Bomani Jones with a show that should have never been canceled, Game Theory, talking about Karl Malone.
Before you play it, Bomani Jones is so good.
Sorry?
Bomani Jones is so good.
Yeah, he's so good.
He's really good.
He's quality.
So Karl Malone being a huge part of All-Star Weekend. You could basically make this question, what are your thoughts?
That's when they held the All-Star game in Utah, to be very, very clear. This is not like in Atlanta or in San Antonio. It was in Utah. And this was a big thing. Like, do they have Karl Malone on? Do they not have? And obviously, we're all like, no. Easy.
Thoughts about Karl Malone, and stop it right there. Like, it doesn't have to be an occasion, because I hated Karl Malone so much before I had a great reason. I only had good ones. Like,
I think this is what you were pointing towards. Like, he was a dude that like really wanted to go out there and kill you and do it by any means necessary in the post. Like he was a fucking tough.
There was plenty to
player,
dislike
man.
about him.
Yes,
the way
exactly.
he played, based off of strictly on the floor.
Exactly. Oops.
Being a dirty player, elbowing people all the time, you know, that sort of stuff. And then, you know, we found out the whole thing, if you don't know this, that when he was in college, Karl Malone had a baby with a 12-year-old. There's never been any sort of reckoning for Malone, because Malone lays low. Like, he just out there in the country, driving his semi, doing whatever it is that Karl Malone does out there. But if you're doing something for Utah basketball, it's like Karl Malone. So we got Karl Malone and John Stockton. John Stockton is...
I was just going to say, these things are fucking nuts. John Stockton's insane. Both of these guys are fucking insane. John Stockton was in one of those super conspiratorial films about COVID. And then he was a part of that weird coalition of the died suddenly, which had no factual evidence. None. He tweeted out something or put his name on something like 10,000 soccer players just died out of nowhere because of COVID. And we were like, prove it. And he's like, hold on. And then he never did.
Crazy conspiracy guy. And I'm just kind of like, I know a lot of people that think crazy things, as long as you don't say it on the microphone there, I guess, right? But Karl Malone, you're kind of supposed to leave him at home, except if you're the league. I heard a lot of y'all when I told y'all those details, you'd never heard them before, all right? And so why is Karl Malone not there? Then you make this more a story. And so I would imagine that there's a very cynical outlook on how to play it. So I never want to see Karl Malone ever, all time, any other point. But he's going to be there, and it's going to be wild uncomfortable for a lot of people. And then tomorrow we're going to forget it ever happened.
Things like that might be the reasons why we don't see Bomani Jones in his show anymore.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Facts.
Just saying.
Facts.
What is Bomani Jones doing, though? Sorry, I don't want to get on this side.
He hosts The Right Time with Bomani Jones, which is part of the Wave Network. Here's my take. All right. Wemby, according to some reporting, went to go study how to be a Buddhist or a something of that sort for like a few weeks.
Mhm.
He has been shown to display affinity for Mao. He despises Karl Malone. And he like he's how old is he? He's like 22, I want to say, 21. He's the face of his country.
21, yeah.
He is obviously the face of his team. He's about to be the face of the league when LeBron retires. Because Steph's like 36, 37 at this point. I saw a tweet that really hit home. That was like, man, Wemby's calling out Karl Malone and LeBron's hanging out with Jeff Bezos. Like, I think I got to reevaluate. And it's true. It's true. Like, when Wemby is saying stuff that no other NBA player has said about Karl Malone. Us in the media, we've said it.
Mhm. But there's some kind of
no one in the association.
brotherhood coalition of guys that you're not supposed to say this stuff, or you
That's
don't want
true.
to get involved in it or wade into it, just play basketball. I don't know. I've never been involved with anything business side of NBA. But people generally have an idea of just, this is what you're here for: train, play your games, make your money, win some championships, get some accolades, have an enjoyable life. And I think that's what part of the things that's changing with another generation. This man was born in 2004.
Oh my God.
Victor Wembanyama was born in 2004.
Oh my God.
I assume, I'm not sure how long Karl Malone played, but he's probably retired around then, maybe close to, because it was 98 when Jordan beat them again. I think it was 98 when he beat them again.
He actually retired in 2004 with
that
that
was
Lakers
the year.
team.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. He went to that Lakers team with Gary Payton and on it too.
Mhm.
Retired in 2004 when Victor Wembanyama was born. So it's not like Victor Wembanyama was growing up watching Karl Malone and knew the stories and was like, I've always hated Victor Wembanyama. I've always hated Karl Malone. But it's enough to see and understand what it is that people accepted and overlooked before, and he's not willing to do that. And similar to what we were just talking about with Kike Hernandez of the Dodgers, it's y'all can try it, but I play basketball, and you can try and oust me from this league, but that's gonna be a bigger problem for you than it will be for me. And these are the type of young folks. There's those, you hear those sayings where old folks will say the kids will be all right. It's only in these situations,
Right.
the kids aren't all right. But in some of these situations, with the kids who understand, I'm gonna call them a kid at 21, but where they understand where to stand on things and to not let that affect, not to let the negative side of just accepting that affect their life. Like, I'm not gonna be on the wrong side of history on this. This is more important to me. Because they're that big of a name and they can do that. And
Definitely.
that's when you use it.
Definitely. And I'm just glad. Like, it's a breath of fresh air that, like, everything that we have been saying about Karl Malone and just how he is a disgraceful human being who really does not comment on this stuff. It's just nice to be validated, not just by anybody, but also on the precipice of being the face of the league. It's just super validating.